The day I heard that the GT4 was being launched, I put a deposit down with my dealer and just waited a year for it to materialize. I just waited and waited and waited.
Did you get a very early build? Did it end up not really mattering?
It was one of those things where Porsche was caught totally off guard by the response for the car because they priced it at 84.6. And in my head, it
was way underpriced.
Everybody saw it and they were like, "Oh, that's not bad at all." And so combine that with I think 1,200 allocations or something like that for the U.S. market. It sold out super quickly, and Porsche was just overwhelmed.
They were getting flipped for 110 within days.
Yeah, and so I
shout out to my boy who paid 110 for one with 2,000 miles on it.
Oh man,
no.
Well,
it's a nice car.
Yeah. I didn't do that, but I did wait.
Yeah.
I waited, and let's see.
Where'd you go in Germany, though? Was the question.
So I picked it up in Stuttgart, and I was going to do the Grossglockner, which is the twisty road through the Alps, and I picked it up for my birthday, which was May 1st, and I thought, okay, this is going to be the best birthday week ever. So I'm driving up, and all of a sudden there's this chalet looking toll booth that's closed, and that's the entrance to the Grossglockner, and they said, sorry, closed. Actually, there was nobody there, so I just had to turn around.
Oh, no.
And so I had to find an alternate route over the Alps, and I found a train that you could just drive onto, and it went through the Alps.
Whoa! Nice.
Yeah, it was 18 euros, and you just drive it on.
Where did you end up?
In Austria somewhere, just in the boonies.
Did you have Cup 2s on that thing, too, and you had to drive? Was it snowy up there?
Yeah, here's the thing. So the whole trip was kind of it wasn't a letdown, but it was just anticlimactic because the color I ordered, I saw it under the fluorescent lights at first, and I was like, oh man, that's the wrong color. And then...
Wait, had you seen it outside at first? Would you have thought it was the right color?
They do, for European delivery, they put it in this little showroom.
No, I've seen that, but I'm just saying, once the car... Did it look the way you wanted it to look once you brought it outside?
Once the sunlight hits it, yes.
Okay.
But
it's not
What color was it? Brewster green?
Brewster green, yeah. But it was overcast, and then it started raining when I picked up the car.
Does it look black when it's dark and wet?
Matt, we're not going to do this right now.
It's just hard for you.
This is the joke, right? Anytime I post this car, Lieberman's like, "Oh, hey, look, a black car."
Oh, I didn't know that was a thing. It's a good bit. I like Brewster green.
I wore this hoodie, and I was talking to Mac Hogan, and he goes, "Nice black hoodie." So, it's just
now I know that you have a thing that annoys you. I will lean into that.
It's your thing, just like Mac Hogan's thing is being called the world's tallest man.
But he is the world's tallest man.
Isn't he? He's absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So,
hilarious. I'm sorry that it's that it looks black in the dark and when it's wet. Yeah,
that
happens.
I know. God, my GT4 just looks wrong. Just awful.
You're the worst. Yeah, but it drives good.
So this isn't your car, but this is the same color.
That is my car.
Oh, this is your exact car.
There's only one Brewster Green GT4 in the world, and that is it.
Nice.
That's why it's so hard to find it.
But
online.
you tow it. So how many track days have you done with it?
Oh my God,
all of them.
I have 10,000 miles on it, and I've probably gone through 4 or 5 sets of tires.
Oh, that's a lot of track days.
Yeah.
Do you put Cup 2s back on it?
Absolutely.
You do?
Yeah. And I always go back and forth. I'm like, should I get 19s and then amortize the wheels and then get cheaper tires? But I can't find the right tire I want in 19. So the Cup 2s suit it so well, and it just
do you time
really
yourself?
Sticks. I don't.
Okay.
I
so
don't
you just
time
go out
myself.
for fun.
Yeah.
Because I found the reason I ask is because I found in other cars, not necessarily GT4, but in other cars when I've driven with a timer on Cup 2s, I get a warm-up lap, the fastest lap I'll ever do around that track, and then almost immediately I'm a second off the pace, and then it just kind of levels out a second and a half or two.
Yeah.
Whereas if I have a Super Sport or a 4S, I can't get that best lap, but all my laps will be pretty consistent.
Yeah.
But I was actually not asking because of that. I was asking to see if you'd found a better track tire for that car.
For that car, no. For the 987, the Nitto NT01s are phenomenal. They're just so soft, and you can feel them grip. And
Do you even have any other options in them for the Boxster or for the Cayman?
they have a Dunlop does a Sport Max race,
Oh.
and I've never driven on that, but the Cup 2s
Durezas
are
are
pretty
good.
amazing. Yeah.
We would run Durezas on the Mazda on the MX-5 race car, and they were pretty grippy, and they would last an entire 12-hour race. So that was pretty good.
Well, maybe if they have a 295 3520,
I don't know. Is that what it is? 20,
The rear is
3520,
and then the
Alright.
front, or no, 295 3020, and then in the front, I think it's 245 3520.
That's a good amount of tire.
Yeah, it's a good amount of tire.
Good
Yeah.
amount of tire.
And I just got back from Button Willow, and it's time for a new set.
Yeah, Bun was fun in that car. I bet.
yeah.
But is it all third gear? No,
Uh,
second over some of the little guys.
It's
right?
second. We were doing counterclockwise, so as you're coming through, kind of like the that off-camber thing at the end before
Yeah.
sunrise, you just pop it down to second for.
Is there any fourth gear at all?
On the front straight, you can
Not in a
hit-
GT4, I bet, because they have a gearing issue.
They,
Well, that's what I'm saying. I was
Yeah.
wondering because that car's like the gearing can be interesting.
the
depending on
gearing's
the
a
track
little
you're
tall,
on.
yeah. It's good for Auto Club because as you're going around
Yeah.
the oval, it's
You can just keep it in second.
first. Just keeping it first.
Have
yeah.
you thought about doing the shorter gearing though, that like
I've
Sharkworks
driven
does?
I've driven the third gear that Sharkworks has, and it's great, but it's like the Torino. There's just something about keeping the car stock that I just really cherish.
That's cool.
Yeah.
you can do it. I happen to really like the alternate gearing.
Yeah.
but it's so expensive that I think it would either begin a rabbit hole of modifications
Oh, absolutely.
that would end with swapping engines.
Well, that was the TTRS. I got the camber plates, and then they have a diff that allows you to rotate it, and then they have brake ducting, and it's like, oh my God, I just spent 20 grand on a car.
Yeah.
To-
On tweaking.
On tweaking it, yeah.
Yeah.
If I were to time myself, I'd get maybe a second better.
I mean, you can do. There is some noticeable difference in feel with something like a diff or the gears,
Yeah.
and you could make the car more enjoyable in your everyday life if that's what you really wanted. But you just are, to do something like that. To open up a gearbox, you're committing to owning that thing for a while.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? That would be the kind of thing you would do on fucking day 2 with the car.
Yeah,
And
you
then
just go nuts.
And then, I remember I forgot who wrote about it. Was it Jack? Somebody wrote about how you actually get more for your money by modifying right now. Don't wait. Get it now, and that way you have that mod for the most number of days with the car. I don't
Right.
know.
So instead of a slippery slope, you just fall off
do
that
it
cliff.
all.
fall
Just
off,
fall
jump.
off the cliff and then enjoy it the whole way.
Enjoy the impact.
Spend $80,000 and spend 120 grand immediately.
Oh my God.
I'll tell you what, having gone through the bullshit process of building and developing that Mustang I did versus writing Lee Keen a massive check and handing him a donor car, it was much more satisfying to just give them a check, and then the semi rolls up at my house, beep, 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 and then it's here's your car.
Right.
And then if anything
that's
goes wrong,
great.
if anything goes wrong, you can blame someone else.
I can blame someone.
You can blame someone else, yeah.
So you never feel like an idiot.
Mostly not like an idiot. Yeah. But no, I forgot where we started on down that tangent. Oh, the GT4 European delivery.
The GT4, yeah.
Did you do Nürburgring?
So that was the other question I had gotten. I had never been to the Nürburgring until one of my first assignments at Motor Trend, which was a year after that. And people said, "Oh, you can take the GT4 to the ring." I said, "No, green car, green driver, green hell, and a public day, absolutely
That's a
not."
good T-shirt.
Oh yeah,
Green card.
Yeah, it's almost as good as my old road trip. Yeah,
that's a good shirt too.
yeah. And so what I did is I just did kind of a road trip of different countries. I went through Austria, Vienna, and then one of my favorite parts was going from Austria to the Czech Republic. And you drive on this road that almost looks like a marsh on either side. Mm-hmm. And as you're driving, you can see the old Eastern Bloc checkpoints where people would have to go through, and then at the end of it is a gas station where you have to buy a sticker for your windshield to get on the superhighway.
Yeah, the toll stickers.
The toll stickers.
Yeah, I remember having to do that. Yeah.
And in backwoods Czech Republic, they don't speak English. If you don't speak German, which I don't, I only speak French and English, And so it was a bunch of.
Just one more than I do. Yeah.
Well, I tried.
It's a lot of
it
pointing
didn't work.
at pictures.
It was a lot of pointing at pictures, and they had the hot dogs on sticks. It was so weird.
Well, that's
just this
delightful.
gas station. So we
I
finally
believe those
got
are known as corn dogs, Derek.
they were just these like really long hot dogs. They weren't covered in cornmeal. They were just like different
just hot dog
lengths.
on a stick.
Yeah, and
making me hungry.
National delicacy.
so
I'm
I
really
got
really
the sticker.
enjoying that.
I got the sticker and
you got a sticker and a stick.
and the stick.
Nice.
Yes, I did. Then I went through Czech Republic, and the other cool thing about the Czech Republic is that the superhighways aren't fully done. So you'll be on this beautiful 4-lane, undulating, sweeping road, just carrying really great speed, and all of a sudden, there are just roadblocks, and it dumps you onto this
Like a bullshit side road.
bullshit side road for like 40 kilometers, and you're stuck behind behind everybody who gets dumped off. Then it comes back on, and you're like
so
going
funny.
along, and it's just like about 5 times.
It's like we had money and then
Yeah,
we ran out.
yeah, just kidding. So at
That's
that point,
crazy.
Yeah, at that point, I went back to Germany and found a Macan Turbo just as I was crossing the border, and we just like ramped it up and just hit the Autobahn. And at first you're like, oh, great, the Autobahn. Why doesn't everybody do this? Like, why don't they do this all the time? And then you fill up, and you're like, oh, that's why.